Hello, and welcome to the start of the PSU LCS Spring 2021 playoffs. Only the top 8 teams from the regular split have made it this far. The creme de la creme, the top of the board. And for our first game of the quarterfinals, we have number 4 Team Miku versus number 5 GME Gorilla Monkey. Once again, I am Sioka, joined here today by the ever-wonderful Soccer Wars fanboy.
Hello. I am very excited to cast best of series now that we are in playoffs. We do have best of two, quote unquote, for the regular season, but best of threes are just a completely different beast when it comes to not only how draft works, because drafting is a lot of talk in recent League of Legends, but in how the gameplay goes as well. Because in best of three, hypothetically, in a perfect world, you have a 1 game buffer to just lose, and you can still come back from that. And that puts a lot of pressure on game one. You can either play incredibly safe and just sit back and try to scale it up and win by that way, or you pull out some spicy things and hope you get a cheese win game one that gives you the momentum going. So it's
Yep,
all
and
very interesting to see how we sort of evolve the dynamics from just 2 game regular season to a best of series.
Yep, and we are already into the first draft of our little best of 3 here. Team Miku gonna immediately ban away the Kane from Infamous Phoenix. One of his more infamous picks, you might say. On that side of things. Good to note here, if you're looking at the rosters right now on your screen and it's a little odd, we have a bit of an interesting thing here. GME will have to forfeit 2 bans for 2 emergency subs. Red Nexala's into mid lane, as well as there's Neatsk in top lane. Support did not, or was not able to get here in time. So a bunch of different substitutions, a bunch of different new players here for Gorilla Monkey. Certainly can be a challenge in forming together a good team.
Losing 2 bans is definitely pretty, I'd say, difficult, especially on red side, because normally in a draft dynamic, blue side gets to ban out sort of like targeted champions, whereas red side has to ban counter, like the meta OP champions, as Team Miku just bans Kane, Yone, and Diego, 3 very heavy AD champs. 1 targeted at jungle and 2 probably targeted mid lane, since red would definitely play Diego. And we have Seraphine locked in immediately.
Yep, it's
and this champion is just broken, I still feel. Even after some of the nerfs, even after they finally bug fixed her with Moonstone, she's still insanely powerful. Triple flex between all bot sides of the map. You can put her mid, you can put her as AP carry, quote unquote, you can put her in support. The shielding and healing from that champion is just absolutely insane, and it's good to see it get picked up immediately.
Yep.
And
in kind, the Olaf Yuumi. Yuumi, of course, one of the other hyper carry answers to Seraphine in terms of amount of healing give. Good, pairs up well with Olaf. Classic combination.
Whereas the Yuumi is sort of used to make one person this gigantic buff dude running you down, as we will probably see with the Olaf. Seraphine can do that, but with the entire team. So it's a battle of the single target, super hyper carry from a Yuumi, and standard hyper carry but for the whole team from Seraphine. And if Seraphine Shen doesn't just scream, protect our carries, and especially with the Graves Lock-in, then it's pretty obvious what Team Miku is going to try to do here, just based on these first 3 picks alone. I know we have certain opinions about Graves in the jungle that we've echoed throughout this season, but it definitely feels like it fits pretty good here, because if you decide to put Seraphine mid lane, she can tech into a bit more AP heavy rather than full support, so you don't have to worry about that. And if not, you still have a whole host of AP mid laners left up. And we are in second phase of bans as 2 assassins banned out from GME. I call it Echo the Assassin, Echo and Zed. as Miku bans out Tristana, which I think is very smart. Because if you're GME, you have R4. Tristana is very often seen as a flex pick between mid and the bot lane AD carry. So if they pick that on R4, they get no information about where it's going. Same with the Lucian here. So very, very smart bans.
Yeah, targeting both mid and ADC pools. Of course, we do have Luniverse popping down into the bottom lane. So characteristically, a mid lane are going to be playing AD carry here for Gorilla MonkE in this best of 3, or at least for game 1, from what we know.
Could break out some spicy bot lane picks, but we will be getting Ezreal. I'd still consider Ezreal spicy, considering he's like one of the only champions to not buy a mythic within the first 20 to 30 minutes of a game.
Of course, Ezreal Yuumi, very, very safe bot lane, very easy poke. Does struggle against a lot of engage, which Shizaki not exactly unaccustomed to in the bottom lane. Definitely likes to play the Alistar, definitely likes to play some stuff, can do like stuff like the Leona, the Nautilus, all that good stuff. Is Sivir.
Okay, so as I had mentioned, Team Miku are playing very heavy, and to protect your carries, you lock in the Graves immediately, and then with essentially a free bot lane, it's Ezreal Yuumi. What is that lane ever going to do? You're free to pick up a champion like Sivir, who is like, okay, you're not doing anything to me. I can free farm if things go wrong. We've all seen Sivir hyper farm 400, 500 CS if games get late.
Yeah. And Vel'Koz going to be the final lock-in here. Blind for N0. Bit of an interesting pick here. I don't think it fits Team Miku's comp very well. Vel'Koz, generally speaking, is a very sit-back, backline damage dealer. Whereas when you have these Seraphine, Shen, Sivir comps, your comp wants to go forward. They want to get into the fight. They want to be able to do something. And Team Miku already lacking a lot of that good, guaranteed engage that they might need. Vel'Koz not really fitting here. I think, as well as the Sivir for Miku, maybe looking something more like the Senna. Senna's been propping up so much. It's a classic Ezreal counter pick at this point. And it pairs really well with Seraphine bot lane. Because you get two people who can buff up and heal. You can pick a hyper carry mid lane and go for it.
I think Sivir is actually fine here.
I'm not saying Sivir is bad. I'm just saying maybe the Senna. If you're looking to do the Seraphine comp, Senna, very good addition to it.
But when you have Seraphine and Sivir, the Sivir ult on the hunt coupled with Seraphine's everything, once she gets Moonstaff, which gives the move speed, that's a lot of ability to kite away from GME. And when you have an Olaf, you can't CC him if he's Ragnarok, and if he has a Yuumi on, the best thing that you can do is try to out-kite him with all the move speed. So Sivir, I think, definitely fits. It's obviously not the best pick, I'd say, and I know you're much more of a Vel'Koz aficionado.
Yeah, Vel'Koz is
so
it's in the words. I know everyone has mixed opinions on this, but it's just the best way I can put it in the words of LS. And Vel'Koz just hates his whole team right now. He doesn't like playing with Sivir. He doesn't like playing with Graves. He doesn't like playing with Shen that much. Vel'Koz wants to sit and chill. He wants to have a good front line that is tanking something maybe like an Orange, something like a Scion, that he can just sit back, have the peel he needs to really start to deal damage. Because Vel'Koz, yes, he does some damage with his spellcast. Yes, he does damage with his Q. But his big thing is being able to stack up his passive, getting a very good Incineration Ray through multiple members with a passive fully stacked, so you're dealing true damage, and that takes time, and that takes you to hit a lot of skill shots on a lot of different people. You can't really do that with Miku's current team, because Graves wants to be able to run in and out of fights. He can't really face tank a Mordekaiser, an Olaf, a Yasuo. Shen will get there eventually, but Mordekaiser, of course, very good into Shen in lane. And then Seraphine and Sivir want to go forward in this instance. They want to be able to support their Graves and Shen in the front line. Vel'Koz really doesn't have that much of a place, and yeah, if Vel'Koz can kite back, be able to avoid the Olaf, be able to avoid the Yasuo, then he can do a lot of damage in these fights. It's just very, very difficult, I think, to really strongly pull off in these games.
Take a look at GME's team comp. The Olaf Yuumi, very obvious what they want to do. I feel like that goes without saying. The Mordekaiser pick, I believe, is a neat classic.
Yeah.
So it definitely makes sense there. Also gives you
super good into Shen too. Super good into Shen.
And it also gives you access to some more AP on the team, which, as we can see with the Yasuo lock-in, is desperately needed. But the problem, I'd say, is that if you look at it, Olaf can very easily just run into a team with the Yuumi on its side. Yasuo can kind of do the same if there are dash targets. Ezreal has Arcane Shift, which can be used offensively. You always like to see that because Ezreal can output a lot of damage. And the Mordekaiser is, unless the teams are just like barreling into each other, Mordekaiser is going to be way far behind in Olaf, Yasuo, and Ezreal in these big team fights. And when you have something from the side of Miku like Sivir, Graves, and Seraphine, they're fine just running backwards away from the likes of Olaf and Yasuo and just auto-attacking as they're running away. And it just gets exemplified with the Seraphine and even the Shen to sort of like save them off. So it's going to be pretty tough, I'd say, for GME if things go right with this Sivir and Seraphine combination to even play the game, because Sivir even has a spell shield and can very easily protect herself from some of these engages. And I think the Ezreal pick is mainly because Ezreal is often touted as one of the safest AD carries to play, simply because his Arcane Shift can be used in basically every scenario to get out of many things. And when you have Olaf Yuumi, you really want them to be paired up more as we get to like 10, 15, 20 minutes. But the problem is, against Sivir, Seraphine, it's very easy to push the wave in, and then your Sivir and Seraphine can roam and your Ezreal is stuck farming.
Yep.
And as I said in Champion Select way back when it was the Seraphine versus the Yuumi argument, Seraphine's a team enchanter, Yumi's a single target enchanter. So it's going to be very interesting to see if this bot lane sort of enchanter off can impact the overall state of the game.
Yep, and I mean, I'm just gonna go back to what I said earlier. If you're gonna look for a draft win, which is what at least I always do when I'm on gas, I think GME have the outright better draft in this game one. And my biggest reason for this is when you take these teams and you say, let's say they're dead even at 20 minutes and we're looking at a third dragon situation, yeah. I'm gonna take GME's comp pretty much every single darn time in Nvidia's comp. That team, no matter, as long as they go even in lane with Yasuo, with Mordekaiser, with Ezreal, Yuumi, you are going to be able to put those 5 pieces together, play it front to back. Everyone's going to be able to do their job, and you can just walk it through.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of difficulty in that position. And Miku on that side, you have to have a little bit more finesse. Shen has to get a good ulti onto Graves to be able to have him as a frontliner. And then Shen comes in front lines then, and Vel'Koz has to kite out the Ezreal. He's got to kite out the Yasuo. He's got to kite out a Mordekaiser and Olaf with Ragnarok. So he's got to be able to play perfectly. Graves has to be able to get in and out of these sticky situations without getting in too tightly onto Olaf, onto Mordekaiser, onto Yasuo, and getting blown up. And then Sivir, Seraphine are just kind of doing their own thing off on the side sometimes, with Seraphine trying to heal everybody. Sivir's trying to do DPS where she can, but she doesn't have a reliable front line to play around. It's a very strange composition, and normally we've seen Miku pull some stuff like this off in the past, especially in the past few weeks, since the joining of N0 Anonymous onto the team. They've been able to do this much better with in reality a lot worse compositions. But when you look at Ezreal Yuumi, when you look at the Yasuo mid, I'm trying to figure out where Miku can actually force leads early game to lessen the burn themselves. Because when you look at Yuumi Ezreal lane, that lane's going to be safe pretty much no matter what. What punishes Yuumi Ezreal is going to be Leona. It's going to be Nautilus. It's going to be your heavy engaged champions. Yeah, Seraphine's happy to scale up on side, but you're not going to be able to put Ezreal Yuumi that far behind. On these two champs, maybe a 30 CS diff at most if Lunaverse is playing well, but that's pretty much it. And then you have mid lane. Yasuo's going to have a ton of prio over Vel'Koz in the early portion of the game, which is going to be hard to play.
His life in the mid lane against the Vel'Koz.
Yeah, Yasuo is totally happy in the Vel'Koz matchup. Can pretty much always have lethal potential post 6. Really fan. So then you look at how does Graves play into Olaf. Olaf's going to get to free farm. Olaf is going to get to invade because he has the mid prio. He's going to have the top prio. Like he's
going to have a Yuumi on his back.
And MonkE, who is such an aggressive jungler, loves to be in the enemy team, loves to be taking away camps. It's going to be really, really rough, I think, for Miku. If they get out of the early game ahead, I think they have a good shot at winning. I mean, we've seen these players play plenty of times. They're all very good. It's just how are they going to put these pieces together? How are they going to get an advantage earlier on? Because, yeah, while they do have stealing components, I'm not looking at GME side saying, yeah, they don't scale either. That's not... It's just, it's a lot... It's not that it's necessarily a terrible, terrible 5 champions. It's just... in the individual lane matchup, how we're going to look at this early game playing out, how it's going to play around the jungle, which is such a big deal in this matchup, what's actually going to occur.
I'd like to go back to your point about this 20-minute one-to-one dragon, a third dragon fight. At that exact 20 minutes, Seraphine's healing and shielding potential isn't at its maximum. And in Ezreal, we all know in Ezreal Trident Power Spike, Man Immune Essence Reaver is just absolutely insane damage. And Seraphine won't be able to heal that much up. So I definitely agree with you. At that exact 20 minutes, if everything is exactly even, then GME will definitely be able to have an advantage and probably snowball it off of there. But that all depends on whether or not Mitmatch here with his Ignite Graves. He's gonna have to be
he's going aggressive into the
facilitator.
Olaf.
He has to be the facilitator this game.
Absolutely. We're going to have to see what Miku and GME can get done here in Game 1. Both these teams fighting hard in the regular season. Last time these two met, it was 2-0 GME. And since then, Miku making a real run into the standings, up into the third place spot for a little bit till Universe 2-0'd 5-inch Girth Gods. But that 2-0 also coming last time GME played when top lane for Team Miku was still Sioka. And a mid laner yet to be picked up. So, gonna have to see how this matchup goes. This time, of course, tons of subs on GME regardless, so pretty much an entirely new team.
Yeah.
Will be a bit of an interesting one.
We saw the classic jungler issue of putting a ward in the opposite little dot brush of whatever side they're starting, then immediately go back and get the sweepers. So we'll be seeing both of them start on the bot side of the map. So they'll be meeting themselves around level 3 in the top side, which I'd say is pretty smart on the side of Miku, because if Shen can manage to, like, I wouldn't necessarily say get ahead, but at least get some CS up, maybe burn a Mordekaiser flash, it definitely opens the Shen up to be able to be an actual champion, I'll say, in the matchup. And you can easily get out of the lane and help with the Stand United. So gonna be very interesting to see where the junglers decide to put their pressure on.
Now, it is a little bit interesting here in the pathing for these jungles I like to point out, and always something you have to look at early game because jungle is such an impactful role, is Olaf going for the full clear blue side like normal. It's pretty awkward to see many champions not go full clear as Mitmock. Gonna try a little 2 here on red. I don't think they're going to get anything flash-wise, just going to get a good chunk of damage off. So, bit of an interesting gank decision. Gonna be a little behind. Nightlar's doing a great trade top lane off the level 2 proc.
That's kind of insane. He just went 2 camps right into the mid lane. Doesn't burn much of anything from the Astro end.
Yeah, now we're already stealing away the Raptors. Mitmock, 6-3. Dig Baron is 3. He's gonna go for the. He's got the ignite. Dig Baron needs a flash, but Vel'Koz is also there. Flashes of the wall, and he will be able to escape. So it's an ignite for a flash from Dig Baron, and now the entire top side over to Mitmock. And they said, I mean, I said he was gonna be aggressive, but this is on another level. This is a 3 buff Graves that might be coming out here. Yeah,
and that's insane because the only thing left up for Dig Baron to take is the Krugs, and you're putting yourself very heavy into enemy territory when the Sivir and Seraphine are pushed up just to get something back. It was a great smite from Mitmatch there to
take the level
get the
3.
Raptors, then get level 3, and he has free access to the scuttle in the entire rest of his top side.
Now
he's so far ahead.
The question is if Miku's bot side does respect that they are weak side on the map right now. Jungler is still top side. Just grabbed that top side Scuttle Crab. Still doesn't pick up his blue buff. I don't think they have any idea. Dig Baron was on the Krugs. They're going to go for the gank bot side. Shinozaki Weekend, J-Morgs in some trouble. Dig Baron's on the back. Good spell shield on the axe. Dig Baron doesn't do the damage. Shinozaki Weekend still kind of away. The heal comes out from J-Morgs. No one's dying. Dig Baron, 1 auto attack, flash 4, double root from Shinozaki Rika. Ludiverse 1 HP. First blood to Miku as Phoenix be able to get away.
Oh,
no, not yet. It's all a trap. The Graves is here. He grabs 1, grabs 2. And Miku off the bot side, weak side play. Mitmock from all the way up in top side coming down to finish off 2.
World Tour jungler right there.
Oh, baby. 3 for nothing.
Jungle at all. He walked straight through mid lane. All the way down to that brush. Oh my god.
That is an
Literally
Absolutely.
every single summoner aside from a Yumi exhaust burned in the bot lane, and
And
the lone ricochet bullet from Sivir there,
so it is.
killing the
Oh,
Luniverse right at the very end, and mid-match in the right spot at the very right time.
yep.
5-minute noon quivers for both of the marksmen on Team Miku. That's a bit of a money gap,
Yeah.
honestly.
I mean, we said Team Miku had to get ahead early. It is 3 kills on the bot side off the counter gank attempt from Dig
Top side
Baron.
jungle is still base
Yeah,
left.
it is a 3 buff for Mitmock. It is a double crab. This man has gotten everything on the map for Miku so far. The jungle is a kingdom for Graves, as he will be ludicrously ahead of Dig Baron, as his bot side champs still haven't barely respawned.
He's just gonna walk himself down. He'll take wolves, he'll take raptors, and then he'll get the krugs. And that's like I had said, Dig Baron had to be very careful. Like, even though Team Miku's bot lane were pushed up, it's still Seraphine with Guardian is insane in a 2v2. There's so much damage that gets.
Oh, last breath out on Red Zero. He's so low. No barrier, going very low. Ignite still ticking. Oh, it's close. He does just manage to get through. The flash away to dodge the Q is very good.
He's gonna hit the
yep.
vision
Out. I mean, no mid laner here. N0 does have TP on the Vel'Koz, so he can't get here in time. Shizakirika also trying to get a contest, but Midmock actually being chunked by the Infernal Drake. Gonna get the summoner teleport here is J-Morg. Just gonna spell shield the W. Luniverse trying to heal through. Might look for the 1v1. Teleport coming in from Nietzsche. J-Morg's in trouble. Finally comes steady. Luniverse, though, gonna go down. The exhaust too late, and Shen be able to get here first. Lightlark slays him as he sneaks, trying to kill Mitmock in the Dragon Pick, blowing down. Finally, the shutdown comes in. Dragon solo secured by Dig Baron. And Nietzsche gonna try to walk away. Red XL, both will burn the flash. And now they're in enemy territory. J-Morg coming through. Red trying to grab it, but the spell shield on the Q means J-Morg shall not find any trips to the fountain here soon. Nietzsche, though, looking for a back. Gonna try to put it here in the river brush. Nightlark not gonna be able to see him going, so Nietzsche possibly with the great escape here. Shizaki not gonna check the bush, and that will mean the Mordekaiser does get away still.
Okay, so good news for GME. Mordekaiser got a big shutdown on the Grave. That's a lot of money that'll help propel him, and maybe he can sort of solo carry by forcing the 1v1. The bad news now, as I voiced that, is that Sivir is literally about 600 gold away from her mythic item, and it's barely 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, you're 3,600 gold up in the bot lane.
We always think of Sivir as like the hyper late game. She gets all the...
Great dash away there from Red. Had one more minion.
We all think of Sivir as the, like, 30-minute...
Red gonna be chunked out pretty low here by N0, and that's gonna be a lot of lane pressure as the invade once again coming from Mitmock, the mid jungle, working really well to make sure that the losing 2v2 isn't actually losing, always having Red very chunked out, doesn't have summoners. And Mitmock wants to go for red buff invade.
But the Mordekaiser?
Yeah, there's no standing United here. They might look for it. Vel'Koz also with no ultimate, but Olaf only level 5 can't just get away. Zero finds a Q, one more will secure. E does land the passive procs and the snipe from downtown. Mitmock.
Okay, so we are definitely playing around this Ignite Graves in the jungle very well for Team Miku. The bonus to that being that your bot lane Sivir is 3-0-3 and has a 350 gold bounty. So, and you're at a 3,000, almost 4,000 gold lead.
At 8 minutes in.
It's, we talked about that even fight around Dragon at 20 minutes. At this rate...
It's actually not even, it was a 2v3 for a while against Miku. You had Neats and Red there only for a while, N0 and Mitmock, so...
At this point, GME are gonna be crying tears of joy if they get even at 20 minutes with the way this game is going so far.
Yep.
But your Mordekaiser does have 2 kills, so that is something to be proud of. Mordekaiser can definitely do some funky Shadow Realm magic in a 1v1 can definitely be used, if not to kill, then to neutralize some of the Fed carries on the side of Team Miku. But their two marksmen have mythics and were 15 seconds shy of 10 minutes. That is probably fastest mythic completion I've seen probably ever, which is insane. Because the gold went on all the right people for Team Miku in that early game. You went on to both of your marksmen, and you love to see it.
Absolutely, and now we're getting into the bright side for GME. You do have that first road rider, so you're not going to have a 20-minute soul here coming up.
Somehow they got that
soul.
first dragon.
Mitmok died in Death Realm, so Olaf was able to just kind of smite it away. He's probably looking at bot side tier 1, no?
Sivir is great.
N0 has no E. Very dangerous situation. Mitmok gonna grab away the Gromp there. Gonna grab first turret bot side as well. All 5 plates for Team Miku. Still 10 minutes in. Gonna be pretty
Can they stop the
accelerated
Herald?
here.
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely gonna stop the Herald. Herald's not that strong early in.
Sivir is 3,000 gold ahead of Ezreal right now.
Yeah, 58 to 31.
Casual 80K.
The casual more than an item was worth of gold ahead
Casual,
is
half
insane.
of Team Miku's overall gold lead is just on the Sivir. And while that is good for Team Miku, because Sivir is definitely who you want a lot of money on, if by some grace of the teamfight gods, if GME can catch out the Sivir, that is a lot of power just taken immediately away.
Good arcane shift there. One more second round with auto attacks from Sivir and a Gale Force. That is a very dead Ezreal.
Dead Ezreal. Did also burn the final chapter, so that should literally just mean it is a free Cloud Dragon on the side of Team Miku.
Yep, should be.
So we're either getting Ocean or Mountain Drake. Both are very, very helpful for either of these team comps. Ocean is just universally helpful, as we all know, and Mountain is pretty underrated because especially at a stage like this where the teams are 1-to-1 in Drake, you would be able to stack up to 3 mountains, and that's a lot of free stats, but it's Ocean. Always happy to see Ocean Rift. It's a nice lo-fi Summer's Rift to have a 1v1 in the top lane too, but it's not a 1v1. There's an Olaf.
Dig Baron's up here. I'm not sure if they're going to try to go for a dive or just forcing the wave, but either way, this is trying to get some plating gold. Gonna pop the Ragnarok, so there's no stuff coming on Nightlark, but the tower is still going in. Nightlark gonna grab 1, looking for 2. It's a double for the top laner of Miku. The dive was risky and a risk they didn't take. It's gonna be 2 over to the Shen top lane in the losing matchup as well.
Okay, well, I guess they thought they could do that because Shen had just used Taunt a bit earlier, but your Olaf is level 7. That's not a very scary Olaf. He doesn't have any of his big items. Against a Shen with the shield, a lot of the big damage from the Olaf, because if you're tower diving that, you're not going to be able to pick up your actions a lot. The main source of damage from an Olaf in that case would be the E, and it's only level 1, so it's not a lot of damage. So, very well played by Nightlark to not only get the 1, but also the second one in the 2v1. Very, very impressive.
Absolutely, and so far...
That's gotta feel bad for the Vel'Koz player. Just all of your abilities...
Yasuo is a hard matchup for Vel'Koz. It is
all of your abilities...
It can be a very tricky situation.
Absolutely.
Either way, once again, going to be shoving out this mid lane here for N0. Good look for the invade.
He's back! Luckily, Dig Baron smited it that
smite
time.
up.
It was the blue smite.
And now he's immediately coming to the red, but Mitmok this might be the overextend that we often see. As he's going to go turn on Dig Baron, try to get the kill initially. Oh, Vel'Koz finds a Q combo going forward, and now Stadium United here as well. The ulti comes in onto Mitmok, but Shen is there as well. Not in the death room just yet. Mitmok very tanky with the mythic item. Nightlark managed to shadow dash for the kill in the end. Mitmok just barely enough lifesteal with the Immortal Shield Bow. That will get him out alive. Red Nexala not able to get in. Dig Baron already chugged out before the fight. And once again, Mitmok able to secure another red buff from Dig Baron. 3-level advantage, 40 CS up as Red, possibly in trouble as well. Smoke screen a little bit off. Mitmok does get tagged with the Q. That's all they can really get done right now. Flash forward from N0, going to be immediately win well by Red. He's going to try to walk this one out. Sivir coming, but Yasuo can 1v1 a Sivir. J-Morgs has to be careful here. He
he's
can be in
just
a
gonna get out.
really tricky spot. And yeah, Red. Well done, run
Thank
away.
you,
Well
Shiver.
done getting out.
Thank you, Shiver. Okay.
Also gonna get a chip damage. Not gonna matter too much.
I respect it. I respect that ultimate. That's just a, yeah, no, get out of my lane. I enjoy being able to use my skill shots.
Yeah, a little
But,
bit maybe
yeah.
over-aggressive on the flash for Vel'Koz. Flash on Vel'Koz is a very, very important summoner spell.
Oh, I didn't see the flash.
Yeah,
I just saw
he
the
flash Q'd into a wind wall, which is unfortunate, but that summoner is very,
yeah.
very important for Vel'Koz to be able to kite
Oh
especially get pull
no!
off.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I've seen this one too many times this game. My heart can't handle it
Big
again.
Bear, you get one camp a recall, buddy. That's all you're being allotted here by your.
Best I could do for you is the Crud camp. And I don't know.
Second Herald gonna be secured here around 50 minutes. This one not too big of a deal. It
Yeah,
can probably
well,
just clear camps and get.
you
full
probably
amount of
just
lead.
throw that mid lane
Yeah.
and allow, you know,
Try to get mid, try to
be
get some
able to
added
have that
pressure going.
pressure.
For sure. As Red is actually in trouble. Great E from Ezreal though to get the peel initially. Last breath though, gonna land from Red. Ignite comes down. The Yumi ulti, Infamous
Oh
Phoenix,
no!
is
That's
able
not
to
who you want the
secure.
kill on.
She'll
That's
kill.
cat.
And there's the problem with the Yasuo Vel'Koz 1v1 matchup. Yasuo, as soon as he lands one Q, the last red
That
plus the
finishes
armor
on
pen's
top
enough
of
without
you.
Seeker's arm guard. Just one
We're
shot people now.
back at the
Mid-Mock.
Raptors.
Yeah, has no mid laner here. Has to be careful. Mid-Mock gets some block visibility with wall. Flips the ulti backwards. Now the Ragnarok there. Mortal shield bow not going to be enough, and Red able to grab away with Nightlark. Shadow dash off the TP, grabs one. Now it's a 2v2. J-Morgs here as well. Dick Baron, no health to speak of, as Shizukarika peeling the Yumi off herself. Nightlark gonna soon
That's
claim the
just
kill
a
underneath. The Sivir with a
1v1.
double kill, and now Lunaverse coming as Shizukarika still
Oh,
with the 1v1
man.
versus Yumi. Teleport in from N0 under Turk, gonna save the minion, looking for the kill on Lunaverse, but a good arcade shift shall avoid any incoming damage.
I was a big fan of the supportal combat during that entire fight. The level 7 Seraphine versus the level 8 Yumi. Literally none of them can do anything when it's only them.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Team Miku's other team members are definitely way stronger than GME.
Yeah, and I mean that fight mostly just the gold difference at this point in the game.
Yeah.
Olaf is a ward and maybe a caster creep in terms of damage output right now.
You know, he's probably like Gromp, level 1.
Level
with
1
his,
drop, there you go.
Level 1 Gromp with the increased attack speed on his first few attacks. That's about the level that Big Baron is at.
Yeah, and although it's a great catch on Mid-Mock, very much overgreen there. Seas needs to go out
You're
of
not-
top lane, has no mid laner alive. That's a very
Mid-Mock
absurdly
is
greedy
fine
play.
dying there because you have a 700 gold bounty on the...
Oh,
Sivir.
J-Morgs maybe overextending, has to flash away. Lunaverse still looking for it as another axe connects. Big Baron can't trace
One.
forward, double flash,
Give it to
WQ.
There we
1,000
go.
gold shot down over, and again it's the greed from Team Miku, giving over a lot of gold to their opponents, but was almost a 10k gold lead, now reduced to 7.
I cast or cursed him. I was saying you still have a 700 gold shutdown on Sivir, so Graves
No,
dying
you don't
isn't
want to be
that
giving over
big.
any shutdowns if you're Miku at this point. Reptile, though, getting a charge up on inhibitor turret would be good just to take the inhibitor turret and leave the inhibitor up at this point in the game.
Yeah.
But
But
looks like
Ezreal got
they're
a
for-
big, fat shutdown there, so
Yeah.
that's a lot of money.
that is gold well needed. GME may be able to grab some extra items, grab some extra power to start coming through here in the mid game. Ezreal getting a shutdown. Yasuo privy to a shutdown. Yumi's gotten a kill recently. That's just over aggression on Miku's part. They think they have numbers, they think they have members, and when the full team of GME is brought to bear, they just cannot really get anything
And
done.
That's what GME needs to be doing. If you can see one person
Oh,
caught
no.
out of...
That Grand Prix set is unlucky.
If you can catch, like, one person out of position, I say in quotes, because there's always going to be a stand united there, then you can start clawing your way back into this game. You have... I'd say you have the champions to do it. We all know the tales of the Yasuos who just pop off.
Yeah,
At
see it
random
popping
points.
off. J-Morgs maybe in some trouble here. Double ulti from Shizukarika's gonna buy some time. It's the last rep on J-Morgs. And he has slain Red Nexla, able to grab the kill. Stand United, I believe, canceled by Nitsuka's Yumi doing the healing. No grievous wounds yet available for Team Miku. And that might be the mid lane tier 1 as once again Miku overcommitting. Another Q going to hit on Shizukarika is now N0. Coming up to the jungle. It's 4 strong mid from the side of GME, and Miku bringing 4 up as well. Flash! E not going to connect Nightlark, and now he's stuck in enemy territory. Teleport coming in from Needs to counter. Nightlark stunned up. No Umbral dash just yet. The wave clear gonna buy him some extra
Ezreal is
time and
doing
space.
so much damage.
Now, last chapter coming out of Infamous Phoenix. Red Nexala going forward, trying to find some CC, cannot. And Miku so far has kited it out.
So, I meant to bring this up.
Oh, Red has to burn the flash. Minion dematerializer. Up and available for Elcos. 3 stacks already there.
I meant to say in Champions like just how much power that Ezreal has in some of these team fights before Seraphine gets online with the massive healing and shielding. Does have Triforce, which rewards being able to consistently land your poke. Because it did get changed to give you more of the stacking attacks and all, and it's still a Sheen proc. I personally would have preferred the Essence Reaver into Mana Immune, because imagine if Ezreal has Mana Immune at that point. That poke from the Q is doing a lot more damage. But it definitely looks like... Okay, that was pretty good from me getting the E.
Be more just be careful. There's 3 top again on the Sivir. He's be the target of interest here for GME.
Yeah,
Big Baron is spotted out, has Infamous Phoenix around, so isn't all out for dead. Double top
Ooh.
of Rylord's gonna buy some more space, and he's immediately
That was a
flashing away
good
his
E
Ragnarok
from E.
channel as well. Drop Barrage not finding much
Ezreal
purchase
hits
from
the
Loopers.
minion wave. Dude, these E's on Mordekaiser have been insane. One hits Sivir through the Gale Force, and then the second one onto the Shen during that fight. As the Shen taunts to get him away. Very, very well put. Just shows.
And Big Baron.
Okay, well.
Just gonna flash
we've
immediately.
seen both of these
J-Mor!
junglers meet at Raptors like 10 times this match, and every time, barring the one, it's gone bad for Big Baron.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of miscommunication there. J-Mor does pop the ultimate on Sivir. It's only a minute before Dragons. That one's not going to be available for the actual team fight, I don't think. Maybe a little.
I mean, it's still a 7,000 gold lead. I don't believe Sivir gold in value, if we convert all the stats to give through the active in value. I don't think a Sivir ulti can offset the 7,000 gold lead that they have.
Yeah, indeed, and it is going to be GME going to try to get first claim here to the Dragon Pit. Does have
Okay.
N0 maybe in trouble here. No vision in this bush. Finds a Q to buy some time. Yeah, N0's just dead. Shouldn't be staying united here. Shouldn't be anything. Vel'Koz caught out in enemy territory, taken down. Red Nexala able to grab
I
the kill.
don't agree with him stalling out that long, unless Team Miku decides to go for the Baron there.
Yeah, they're going to
if you
Baron.
die immediately, your death timer is lowered by that much, and you're able to teleport to help your team with the Baron faster.
Yeah, and they're going to know the Baron is up. Good trap rush. Moonburst able to spot out. So they're going to burst the dragon down.
It's double 80 carry though. It's
gonna be able to go try to contest it. It's still 6,000 HP, still early game. Sivir gonna pop the ulti for a little bit of extra damage and attack speed. Nightlark as well, burn it down with Sunfire. And we are gonna grab a 4-man Baron for Team Miku. So it's Baron for third Drake. Fourth Drake.
That's just very good team play overall from Team Miku. You know, like we had said earlier, you have to be sending multiple people down to deal with just one member on Team Miku, and that leaves the rest of them to have free stay over the map. And when you have 280 carries this fed, Sivir's at 3 items at 23 minutes. That Baron's dead. There's no questions asked. And bit of an item diff. I don't think Graves needed to go Executioners when you know Seraphine's gonna be building.
Executioners is still a decent value though. You can sell it pretty quick. So you're just kind of waiting on the Putrifier purchase at this point.
That's fair.
Once you get Putrifiers, you'll have MonkE also doing a lot more solo invading. So
yeah,
makes a little bit of sense.
I also don't think the healing is that much of a big deal now compared to like when Yumi would get like 2 to 3 items, but it is always good to get it early. You know, early action is good for preventative measures.
Yep.
As
Miku just
with
gonna
the Baron.
3-1-1 interesting enough. Gonna siege down this top lane here.
No, I think this is smart because you don't want to waste your Shen ult to get down to the one-person lane. You want to use your Shen ult to join up with the majority of the team. So by having Shen sort of shadow Vel'Koz, have them hang out together, you can still have somebody be split pushing in the side lane. Because what's Vel'Koz gonna do with the 3-man in the top lane? He's not gonna be able to accomplish much because Sivir is more than enough wave clear. So you'd want him somewhere else. And you can keep Shen with him too to keep him safe without needing to burn the ulti. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that call.
At this point, Miku gonna try to seize out of the base. Have been getting picked still, so despite the 9k gold lead, GME gonna probably be able to hang on the base for now. Not enough levels, not enough items on Team Miku to really just demolish this defense. You do have Ezreal, and you also have to wave clear the poke. Is good on Mitmok, so and you do have a Seraphine there, so a lot of the poke going to be mitigated eventually, but Siege here more than likely just going to burn out the rest of this Baron, and then we're going to go see another drag fight. But Dig Baron playing aggressively has to burn the Ragnarok to get away from the Titanic
I think he was just barely out of range of the Vel'Koz.
It's a really weird hitbox, especially with the Arclight skin.
True.
You can get hit a little bit on the outside of the Vel'Koz.
Red does.
Ooh, pick on to Infamous Phoenix. Sudakariga managed to land the double E and the minion demon stealizer from NZ Anonymous. Will grab themselves the kill, and with the Yuumi gone, that's all you're saying. That is all of your healing away from GME. And now Nightlark and Mitmok can go for the aggressive play. Lunamer sitting chuck very low. Hathmark gets away. Needs almost falls to Mitmok. Does the burn just enough on the tail end of it. That's one inhib as well. Two inhibs. Might look to even end the game.
That should be game, barring some godlike Yasuo mechanic and movement from Red, or they could back off and do the smart thing.
We're gonna back off here. Dragon up in 130 will probably be the next.
Big fan of playing smart.
With that, 11k gold lead for Team Miku. Once again, we're getting back up there after the few throws we saw with the picks coming in from GME to keep them in the game now with 2 inhibitors down. Dragon up in 130. Sadly, Miku can't push for soul. There are 2 dragons down still on that, so that's a little bit more time, and that's gonna be time enough for GME to at least probably stall the next Baron.
That's one of the good things on the side of GME is that they did manage to prevent a snowball, because could you imagine if Team Miku were either on Soul Point or even had the Soul at this point in the game with this much of a gold lead? It's very unfortunate. Luckily, the Baron is going to be down for this Ocean Dragon fight, and I feel like if you're GME, if you don't at least try to pull off a godlike fight here, you're just going to slowly bleed out even more, because it's pretty rough to come back from a 10k gold deficit. I know we saw team throw an 8k gold lead yesterday over in NA.
Oh, Pico maybe on a Luna versus Nightlark.
I don't.
Grabs the fast umbo dash, hits the teleport in for Meeks to immediately respond. So Nightlark's caught out in enemy territory. Should guarantee the Drake for Team Miku. Can't get on a Lunaverse. Death Realm gonna buy more time for Needs. Nightlark using the Spirit's Refuge to dodge away from one more tick towards that path. It's gonna be the shutdown over on to Needs because Narendek's still flashing. I think he had the Windwell there, but he still might be dead regardless. J-Morgs, the crits! And that is your 6-2-4 item Sivir coming in hot and spicy.
The elbow's broken, broken here.
And that might just be the game now. Nightlark may be picked, but with his red not on the field, not enough wave clear to really get rid of these super minions.
Yeah, wave clear is
J-Morgs as well able to push it. Dig Baron, chunked low, ulti in from N0. Not going to be just enough. A splash for 2-man encore from Seraphine, but neither go down just yet as N0 finally managed to burn one down from J-Morgs.
Oh no, the comet!
Oh, the comet kill! Oh, it's unfortunate. Dig Baron going very low. Double kill over to J-Morgs. Here comes the KDA padding. Stat sheets just to be put up, and Team Miku in convincing fashion will take game 1 of this series.
Yeah, definitely convincing. They're kind of insane, and it all started off of Mitmatch's unique jungle pathing. I will say that.
Very aggressive jungle
path. Raptors level 2 show up mid lane, walk to the enemy Raptors, win the smite fight, hit level 3. And we saw from GME the first pick on the Olaf Yuumi. And when the Olaf gets behind like that, when you've already committed so hard to that kind of team, you just don't get to do much. So, very well played from Team Miku to be able to take what we had both identified as definitely a not so great draft.
Yeah, not the best.
And be able to take some of those plays. And Mitmatch, what a guy. Single-handedly just pops off on his own, and
I would say single-handedly. Mid-prio definitely in their favor.
Yeah,
Early game was
true.
played very well by Team Miku's topside to be able to enable that kind of invade. You have topside pressure in a losing matchup. You have mid pressure in a losing matchup. It was
Yeah,
very well done to get that point.
but
Yes, Mitmock is the man behind the slaughter, but
yeah, but because he managed to get the Olaf out, it forced Olaf to run all the way down to Krugs, and then at that point, as Olaf, nothing else is up, so you're forced to make that bot lane 3v2 play, and I mean, Team Miku's bot lane just outplayed them in that. And it turned out to be really well, and it all just snowballed from there.
yep.
So, gonna be,
A few catch outs still from Team Miku. Certainly some over aggression that GME can look to punish here. Given a little bit better early game situation, that one definitely an unfortunate one, but not something to rule out
yeah,
just yet. We still got at least one more
at
game
least
here to
another
play.
game. And gonna be interesting to see how the draft changes. Unfortunately, GME is still gonna have to lose the 2 bans, but they are on
Yep.
blue side, so they will get to have more OP options, I'll
You get the
say,
first pick.
available.
You do have the first pick available.
Yeah, so
All right.
making the best out of a bad situation. And I feel like GME did do that well throughout the game. They made the best out of being set behind impossible amounts early. So, gonna be very interesting to see how they can respond on this blue side.
Yep. And we'll be back here with just a few minutes as we're going to redo some graphics, take a break here between Game 1 and Game 2, just back in a few. We'll talk to you later. All right, hello, and welcome back to the PSU LCS Spring Quarterfinals. Team Miku versus Gorilla Monkey. Team Miku up 1-0 in the series, taking game one in convincing fashion. 8K goal lead. I think it just 10 to 12 minutes into the game. Absolute domination out of the jungle top for Team Miku, as well as bot lane smacking their own home runs to boot. So we're going to be getting into game two draft here in just a second.
Yeah, gonna be very important to see how well GME can sort of bounce back from that game one. They did have some good spots there. Very, very important to note. So all hope is not lost. It is best of three. After all, anything can happen. We've seen crazy things here.
Yep, and we do have a bit of a swap up here of sides. Gorilla Monkey electing to go blue side for game two.
Yeah.
As well as we do have a role swap. Miss Phoenix will be returning to his home in the jungle. It's going to be Dig Baron popping down back into the support side of the game one. Didn't exactly go the best in the jungle matchup. They're going to turn it around. Of course, GME still has to give up those two bans. So.
And as I mentioned before break, losing two bans on blue side definitely, it still hurts, but not as much because you're allowed the first pick. You can basically get your pick of whatever is OP. So if you're not forced to ban out the OPs, there's just that much more good stuff you can take the pick from. So it looks like Team
Yep.
will still ban out the Kane.
Kane's going to be down in the butts again. Is definitely a staple pick of Infamous Phoenix, and now that he has returned to the jungle, certainly something they want to eliminate.
We await the timer because of protest. So what final ban do you think GME will break out after their? Okay, well we're not.
I wouldn't mind.
You don't have a lot of time.
I think you still have to go with Karthus here. GME, I mean Karthus is MonkE is #1 champion, I believe. He's super proficient on it. Is always useful on it, even if you pick a good aggressive pick into an early game. It's one of those things. It's like if you want to look at other stuff in PSU, it's like the Veil Rumble will be one. You always ban it against him, whether your composition is good into or bad, just because that champion is so proficient.
Okay, so important to note, these are basically the same bans as Team Miku, except instead of Seraphine in game one, they banned Diego. So we could be seeing that. I do like the Seraphine ban though. I just think that champion is insanely broken. I think it is a good call to ban it. What will they?
Yeah, we're gonna flex Ziggs B1. All right. Has some power bot lane. Has a lot of power mid lane. Certainly can go.
I have opinions about Ziggs. They're good ones, mind you, but I have opinions. I think Ziggs is like insanely broken into Tahm Kench Seraphine. We're probably not seeing it here because I don't think Team Miku does play that, but I will swear by that. I can explain it later if we get a lull state in the game because I'm standing by that. But it will be two pretty beefy dudes. Hecarim Shen, it's a classic combo. Hecarim dives into the backline with a Shen ult on top of him, and it's going to be a tanky horse and then a tanky ninja right on top of you.
Yeah, I mean, you do have an issue here. Team Miku, not necessarily the best of Hecarim players. Has been MonkE's probably worst overall pick here for the 2021 spring season. They are a 0% win rate with Hecarim on Team Miku's side.
We have a
Darius Flex. It's Darius Flex because Needs can play us and Red can also play Darius mid.
Yeah, okay, yep. Everything's the Flex so far, technically speaking. What will their third pick be?
Probably gonna look out here at jungle on B3. You have Hecarim face
jungle
up.
Be good, so it doesn't get banned out, and
they're just gonna flex again.
Oh,
they're gonna triple. They're just gonna trip. They're flexing everything. We have flex Ziggs. We have flex Darius. We have flex Volibear. All of it's flex.
I don't necessarily think that Volibear is flex. We've seen, especially from LEC, the Volibear Hecarim handshake, as everyone likes to call the trades. It's definitely very useful as Vel'Koz once again.
Now, the Vel'Koz pick again here is very strange. Because in this situation, we're locking away Vel'Koz because they think that Vel'Koz is going to get banned away here in Phase 2. And Vel'Koz, one of N0's best champions, is very safe on it. Can do a lot of different things on the Vel'Koz. The
Well,
problem
probably
is you
just-
have the Ziggs locked in, and whereas Vel'Koz is good into Ziggs, if you flex Ziggs bot lane, you can still get Viego mid here. You can still get another 80 mid that's good into Vel'Koz. You
I
still
don't
like
wanna
the
see
Zed
Viego
available.
mid. I just don't want to see
Red
Viego-
plays it, so I had to at least talk about it.
Personally, because that champion is just so insane. I think it would be a good pick. It would just hurt me to see it every time he lives on a sliver of HP and then possesses someone and goes untargetable.
Yeah.
It would hurt me on a physical level. It would be a good pick, though.
So I think GME with the multiplex here, you can do something like putting the Volibear in the jungle, or even put a Volibear top and still put the Darius in mid lane. I mean, I wouldn't prefer into Vel'Koz, but you can do it. And then flex the Ziggs bot lane, put that down there. Of course, you do have the problem that you could flex J-Morgs in the bot and just play or flex on a J-Morgs and play the Vel'Koz 80 carry into Ziggs, so you do have... There's a lot of like mind puzzle games here you have to play with GME, so it is going to be Vel'Koz bot. I know, because Galio's flexible as well.
Will we see? If Team Miku picks Senna here, I will be able to go on my fantastical rant about how Ziggs is the perfect counter to Senna. And I am very
if Vayne is the lock-in, Senna is pretty much must pick at this point.
Okay, that
because Senna just destroys Vayne.
Yeah.
So we're gonna lock in the Vayne here. So it is not Ziggs necessarily 80 carry unless we're going Vayne top lane.
Unless we're going something crazy.
Everything here can play multiple roles. Darius is probably the only one that you should be saying that's top lane, but because Red is on GME, it's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
So this draft can go pretty much anywhere. At least we're gonna get the support, so it's not Ziggs support.
Oh, I love Ro. I love Captain Ro. He is such a fun champion. There's so much you can do on that champion. I'm excited to see this. As if they pick Senna here, I reserve the right to go on my Ziggs tangent. Come on.
Senna would probably be one of the better picks in the Vayne right now. Definitely limits a lot of what you can do. You do have the problem is you don't have a lot of damage if you pick Senna.
Huh?
Oh. This is Ezreal. It's Ezreal.
Oh.
I actually hate that pick. In fact, that is hot dog water into Vayne.
Ezreal is just pretty bad with this team in general, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to kill Darius, you're not really going to kill Volibear, you're not going to kill Rel. Ezreal doesn't do much damage against those champions. Yeah, he can do well into Ziggs. Yeah, he can technically damage Vayne, but Vayne also has a lot of outplay potential on...
I was holding on to my Ziggs amazing Senna counter pick talk. But some of the talking points do still match up when we are going against Ezreal, because you can outrange basically anybody on Ziggs, or as Ziggs, because the ulti is just insanely powerful. And with newly enhanced Cosmic Drive from a few patches ago, you can get your ulti down to like sub 30 seconds, and then we have good old Season 4 Ziggs ulting sideways, so you never have pressure there. The good old timeline. It'll be exciting. I'm expecting to see that build, which will end up being Leandries into Cosmic Drive, into stuff like the Void Staff, the Death Cap, and probably Banshee's Veil. Ziggs is insane. For not even just like the fact that it's Ziggs in the draft, but the first pick on Ziggs is insane to me.
Yeah, first pick on Ziggs is definitely punishable though. And the Vel'Koz, if the Vel'Koz in lane with Ziggs, is a very, very punishable lane, because Vel'Koz does lane very well into Ziggs. You have much more targeted damage, whereas less AoE. So, and it has equal push potential. So, can be a very punishing matchup for Ziggs to deal with.
Yeah, and the fact that it is first pick Ziggs just means that GME have a plan that they will use in game for it, because you can't just pick Ziggs as like, oh yeah, Ziggs is pretty good here, let's pick him. No, you first pick him, you have to have a plan, and I want to see what their plan is with this.
Well, part of that plan might be that Infamous Phoenix and Dig Baron have switched positions back to their Game 1 form. So Dig Baron will be going jungle on what I presume is the Volibear. We'll see.
Definitely a less lethal game.
Oh, we might be getting... Hold on here. I did not know Red played This is gonna be interesting. We want to see where I'm curious to see where GME puts everything because we still haven't determined where all these flexible picks could be. Zigbot. Zigbot could be an option
For
here.
all we know, it's just gonna be Vayne mid here. You know, for all we know.
Vayne mid would be
I'm-
pretty darn annoying as Vel'Koz. I shall not contest that. Vayne mid would be very, very annoying.
We'll
It
have
will be
to see.
Ziggs. All right, we do have
Okay.
Ziggs. It is the okay. We are standard. All right,
We are-
we're
we are
okay. We are
Going to
okay.
experience normal League of Legends.
All right. And although yes, it is your elimination game that you have to be worried about here from GME, but I do like they still have an idea like this is our identity. We want to go in. We want to have good. I mean, GME has some pretty insane damage as well as good engage with Rel, with Darius, with Volibear that can really pull some stuff off.
I think this is what you need to do in an elimination game. You need to do something crazy. And I honestly think Ziggs is crazy enough to be good there. Because you have so much ability to keep people clumped together. You have the Rel, you have Volibear as a big man walking in front. Ziggs is going to hurt a lot. And with a Shen Hecarim diving, it's going to be very difficult for champions like the Ezreal and Vel'Koz to walk up and fight. And if you land an ulti on them like that, it's insane. They're dead. Ziggs does that much damage.
Yeah, and I mean, Miku, they have options. Vel'Koz does a lot of damage. My problem is the Ezreal pick. You're not going to kill anybody. Vayne's
Yeah.
that's the one lane that Vayne can actually play in lane, especially when you have the accomplice of a Rel, which is so incredibly potent in the early game, as well as mid and late, just with the amount of engage, the amount of CC the champion brings to the table. So, like, Ezreal just feels so bad.
Yeah.
He's not going to kite anyone. He's not going to be able to do damage to anybody. So all the damage of this team is pretty much levied onto Vel'Koz and Hecarim. And yeah, Hecarim can be a force to be reckoned with, but Volibear, Darius, Rel are all going to be able to like tank Hecarim for a bit. And even Vayne is going to be able to eventually disengage Hecarim and be able to kill him late game as one of the few dueling AD carries that can do so. So it's once again, like Miku really needs to come out of the gate swinging this time. I think even more so than last game.
To quote everyone's favorite League personality analyst, Vayne loves the enemy draft here. You can outplay Shen, you can outplay Hecarim, Ezreal. Who cares? You're never dying to the Ezreal. Vel'Koz is fine, you can outplay that. It's the poor Galio. What's he gonna have? 2 items at like 40 minutes? No problems for Vayne here. If you're Luniverse here, you love to see that Vayne, that enemy team, and you're on Vayne, you're sitting there like, oh yeah, it's
1v9 time. It's 1v, even though you're not gonna have to because the rest of the map. Also, I love what GME's doing with Neats here. They're playing a very, very aggressive pick into Nightlark Shen. Gonna be able to get a lot of can zone off waves, can get a lot of farm advantages, can get top lane pressure pretty easily.
It's a lot easier to bully the Shen as the Darius and the Mordekaiser, because with Mordekaiser, you don't have a lot of like that 1v1 potential unless you get a jungler. We all know the tales of the Darius level 2, level 3 1v1 for kills. We've seen it in our solo queue games all the time. We know how powerful that can be. So it's definitely good to see him on a more initiative focus. He can do more on the Darius solo without needing Dig Baron's help. And speaking of Dig Baron, the jungle matchup, definitely a lot less volatile than Graves into Olaf.
I wouldn't say that. Hecarim, this is a pretty volatile one. Because once Volibear gets ahead and Hecarim gets behind, Hecarim becomes useless, Volibear becomes super omnipotent in the jungle. Hecarim gets ahead, Volibear becomes really useless. Hecarim becomes
no matter
very
how
omnipotent.
far behind either of those champions go, if Volibear goes Predator, they both just run in and press their ultis and tank everything. Like, that doesn't change depending on who has more kills and gold at that point. They both exist to just like run into the enemy team and play disruptor. So gonna be very interesting to see how aggressive MonkE decides to play the Hecarim, honestly, because his Grave definitely came out of the gate and surprised both of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even surprised GME, so gonna be very interesting to see what he can pull off on the horse.
Definitely gonna be a very interesting one here for Team Miku. Again, we have one of these ones where they do have options. You have good disengage on Galio. Ezreal's very, very hard to get on top of if you're Darius, if you're Volibear, if you're Rel. Vel'Koz should be able to kite in the backline pretty well because none of these champions really have a ton of dashes, Rel being the exception, and Vayne, I mean for Engage, sorry. I should preface that because Vayne does have a ton of dashes, but not Engage like dashes that will trap Vel'Koz in a ton
Her
of CC
dashes
and
are
stuff.
reliant on her being able to output a lot of autos in fights.
Exactly,
as well.
which Vel'Koz isn't going to let happen necessarily by himself. Like, there is still, you have Stay Unite on Shen on the Hecarim, which gives some buffs. So you have good disengage there as well. Shen can ult the person they engage on.
Like, Shen Hecarim Galio is insane.
There's plenty of options for Miku to do there. The thing is, like,
You
I
just
look at
don't
GME.
have sustained damage.
Darius is going to do damage, Volibear is going to do damage, Ziggs is going to do damage, Vayne is going to do a ton of damage. Ziggs and Vayne primarily going to do an absolutely abhorrent amount of damage to Team Miku's entire team. It's
Yeah.
not going to be even close. Meanwhile, on the other side of the rift, Team Miku, you're really only looking at
Okay.
Vel'Koz, maybe
Okay.
Hecarim, and then maybe Ezreal, depending on how things work out. But even
So,
then, it's a very
It
hard
is not
press.
Predator Volibear, it is Press the Attack. Not too excited about that. I think Predator is way better, because like I said, if you do fall behind on Volibear, you can just be Predator and run at people fast. And it is Conqueror on Hecarim, so right out the gate, good friend Mitmac is gonna be fighting, as it were, with the Conqueror. We'd normally end up seeing phase rush.
Yep, but we do have our entry here into Game 2 of the quarterfinals. Team Miku versus GME. GME fighting
looking
back against
very good.
elimination.
Just from draft alone, they're looking very good.
Yeah, very, very scary team they've got put together here. Again, Game 1, Mitmock and friends pretty much shutting down
Mitmock
any
and
hope of a
friends.
decent mid game.
Oh no. Ah, hit the wall. That
One
yeah,
damage,
you hate
one
to
damage.
see it. Alrighty, so we do have typical wards over there. The junglers did the classic ward and then recall for the red trinket. As
Now, possibly looking here in the invade here. Luniverse is in the bush, so we'll be able to see this coming.
yeah,
Pops a ward
Good.
there. Shino Zakarika tanks one. Can't kill the ward. Just gonna
Good.
disengage.
it was good positioning from Luniverse there, standing in a way at which you can see them enter the bush before they could potentially, like, see you and then engage. So that's pretty important.
Yeah, interesting starts here once
And-
again for both junglers. You have solo blue buff and Gromp start for Volibear.
I definitely think there's less information about where the Volibear is, because Volibear could just solo blue or red. There's nothing really telling about anything.
Hey, Hecarim?
You just know, oh, he's soloing a buff. Okay, cool.
Hecarim starting Raptor is certainly a more interesting one.
Yeah, and it did get spotted out by the little ward. If you look, there's, well, we can't see it now because there's no vision.
I think that
It
was
was-
Miku.
It was the
That was a Miku ward.
trinket ward, yeah. but it
That was
still
I'm saying that
cool.
was a Miku ward. I don't think 24.
Yeah.
Or,
Well, they had a blue
GME
one there a
actually
bit earlier.
Oh,
so-
okay. I missed that one. Level 2 is hit bot lane, though. She's not going to find a quick taunt. Miss Fierce, but it had no charge, so there will be no way to disengage. Is going to be a very good chunk here out for the Team Miku bot lane, as Luniverse and Phoenix both taking a few more Mystic shots than they'd preferably like.
Yeah. And bot lane, mid lane, excuse me, is
It's dead even.
pretty classic wave. We don't see these mid laners at all.
No, both of them
So-
are this is the artillery mages. These are a rare and unappreciated
Rare breed.
breed. Oh, as Infamous goes for the flash stun, grabs the J-Mor's hast, Arcade chipped away, Taunt comes in, Infamous might now be in trouble. Doesn't have the W set, Ignite goes down, but Infamous Phoenix, Summoner heal will
One more.
get him
One more
away,
kick.
Ignite comes down, Mystic Shot will get it at the first blood of the
Oh, wait.
2v2 for Team Miku.
Okay, yeah, that's the problem with Rel, is that once you do either of your engages, be it the crash down or the mount up, you're stuck in the middle of the team. If you crash down, and you're slow as heck, but if you mount up, you don't have that extra shield. So it's definitely a dangerous game to play on Rel. And Miku just winning that fight straight up.
Yep, Shinozaki does end up having to recall there very low after Luniverse able to grab a few more auto attacks on
Yeah.
him.
As
Meanwhile, bot lane success. Once again, Digbear
Hecarim's a higher level.
probably caught out of
And
position
Volibear
here
is-
as we're not getting directly camera see the fight, so I will do it for us. Digbear does have to burn the flash over the wall. As top side, Nightlark also getting straight here on a Neeks. Neeks is level 4.
Oh, no.
Nightlark, lots of burn damage. Neeks with a blast of taunt, trying to save something, but he can't do it as Dig Baron is so very low with the flash, just barely not enough from N0 to claim the kill. And that is a solo kill in the top lane for Neeks as the response to the 2v2 bot lane by Miku. And that is a very well played on the Darius. Can deny a lot of farm, a lot of experience. Nightlark, you're only level 4, but it is a level 5 Darius. He's able to stack right back up, fire to shield Q to heal back. Now Nightlark in trouble once again. 4 stacks of burn. Needs to give her 5. Nightlark can immune a few with Spirit's Refuge. Chunks needs down very low mana, but we'll have to just go back away. MonkE though, here trying to hit the kill. Needs looking for it as well. Has an E, looking for the Q, but Nightlark is able to grab it with the Umbral Dash. Or not the Umbral Dash, the Umbral Dash is Aatrox.
Charge.
What?
Devastating charge is technically, but Shadow Dash.
Shadow Dash. Umbral Dash is Aatrox. It's a dash. Oh. It's a dash. It's a dash on E-key. It's a dash on E-key.
Every champion has a dash nowadays.
So dash on E-key that is untargeted. How about that?
Oh,
can't say that for very
whoa. That's a bit too crazy for me here. But yeah, definitely going blow for blow here in this game. Me getting a solo kill, and I'd be a big fan of being able to just get the solo kill, because now you know that if the Shen wants to fight back, the jungler needs to be top lane, and if the jungler's top lane, they're not anywhere else.
Yep, and Nightlark possibly trouble getting here. Dig Baron is top side. He's away, but maybe not far enough. Does manage to grab away as Dig Baron, and he might look for the dive here. MonkE probably can't 1v2 Volibear Darius. That is quite a bit of tank stats. That is quite a bit of damage to be dealt. And yeah, MonkE as well going to be zoned away from the dirt. Nightlark going to stay for the XP as well.
But there's a Velka.
Oh yeah, N0 has come up through the river.
Tentacle.
Zig's on a recall. Dig Baron.
Up.
He wants to go for the re-engage. He's looking for that Q onto N0. Misses his.
He's in the middle.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get away. So Nightlark going to be able to freely pick up all of these creeps thanks to N0.
Good job saving Nightlark there from the side of Team Miku. Very important to make sure the Shen doesn't die again and snowballs the lane out of control. Infamous Phoenix was sitting on the ward, but
yeah,
the fact that it is still Vayne Rel, as well as go off the Arcane shift away.
Ezreal is a very safe boy.
Yeah. Even with Galio walking around, Ezreal is perfectly fine to just hang out and press Q every so often.
Yeah, and speaking of Galio, seems like you're making his way down back to the bot side. Pops the control ward here, going to be able to clear out one of the stealths. So far, no one going for any of these early dragons yet this series. Dragons have been coming in pretty late. We're already 7 minutes in without anyone really taking a chance at it. Nitsuke is in the middle lane looking for N0. Pops the Summoner Ghost looking for it. Shizaki Rika and MonkE are looking on the Impus Phoenix in the bot lane. Taunt comes through. W is there from Hecarim.
Rel is dead.
Yeah, Rel is gone. Seems like we're able to grab the kill, but Neek and N0 possibly in trouble. Nightlark had this staying united, but it's not enough as Neek has full stats. MonkE comes in with the fear, able to grab the kill. And now Red might be next on the menu. MonkE waiting for that E cooldown to come back up. Shen with a Shadow Dash as well. Dig Baron is here to try to peel away. Stun comes through on 2. Nightlark is jumped. So he's going to be a trade kill on Nightlark, but no, he finds the Shadow Dash forward, trying to get away. He finally goes down. Red also to fall though, and he buys enough time as MonkE now going on Dig Baron. The E from Rel not up and out. Impus Phoenix in behind enemy lines. Flash forward. The taunt does not land from Shizaki Rika. Has another flash forward as well, but MonkE still wants more. They're going back on Impus Phoenix, but the stun is there. Now Vayne with the ultimate. This is the turn. This is the fight. Neetzke's here as well. Double E, double Q, double kill. One for Vayne, one for Neetzke in the end. And it is the overcommit from Miku, which will give the gold back over.
I was in the middle of complaining about how Rel E has a lockout before you can cast the stun after you connect to someone, and that's why Dig Baron died there. But then the overcommit from Team Miku as Darius and Vayne are still there, and you love to see kills going on to the Darius and Vayne in that scenario. That was an around the world fight. We went straight from river down to bot lane tier 2 for some
A lot of chasing.
reason.
A lot of chasing from both these sides, and ends up being
The fight
overall still in
so
Miku's favor.
long that Rel died and then came back to
So
join the fight
did
again.
Darius. So did Darius.
Oh no! What a game! What a game too! I love it.
Yep,
Team's going blow for blow now. compared to game 1. You love to see it.
Yeah, only about an 8K gold lead here for Team Miku. Certainly nothing even close
To
to
game
compatible.
1.
And as we said, comp diff, we all think favoring the side of GME this time around.
Yeah, and the fact that, like I said, the Darius and the Vayne are getting paid in these fights, these hour-long Marvel movie fights, it's very good to see those two, because those are the two that just completely ruin Team Miku's comp. And if you're the Ziggs, you're like, okay, let me sit mid lane and farm. I will.
Ooh, Red in trouble! There comes the ultimate from Vel'Koz, just not enough damage.
One more tick of the laser.
Yeah, the flash away from Red is just enough to disengage. That does mean probably Dragon, though, going over to Team Miku here. Red does have the TP to get back.
Dragon.
Does have the TP to get back. N0 does need to clear up the bot lane, so Vayne gonna be first at Dragon rotation. N0, though, already in the area.
It could be a big fight.
Yeah, this is gonna be the contest. Darius, no TP. Nightlark, no stand united. The top lane will not be here. Double engage! The stuns come through. Shiozaki has nowhere to go. And Luniverse able to grab that Dragon. Thank you for the leash. We'll be taking that one off your hands, and now J-Mark possibly in trouble as well.
Yeah, Rel is a very fun champion. When you see people grouped up, you're like, oh yeah, time to press W, press R, press E, they're just dead. And they were doing the 2-man on that Dragon because Ezreal had to catch the mid-wave, and Vel'Koz was a bit further behind him. He doesn't have the long-range ultimate. And so when you're sitting there just 2-man, the WWE dunk from Rel and Volibear, and Vayne is just safe to DPS. Very good fight from GME.
Absolutely, and that's going to even up the gold. Give a slight lead, actually, over about 700 to GME.
And
Red might be a little bit equalizer as Red canceled out of his E-jump. Vel'Koz going to be given a kill over. N0 to claim that one is bot lane. 3v2. Digbear's here. 3-man top for Shiozaki. He's going to buy some time, but the stun comes through as well. Stay United now channeled onto the Galio. This might be the counter engage. Nightlark finds the flash taunt onto Vayne. The E hits from Galio, but Luniverse is out disengaged as J-Morg's now the target of aggression. Digbear looks for the kill. Shiozaki grabs another taunt. Digbear trying to find the kill. Galio finally finds a trade. Flash away to buy some time. These Nimbus Cloak doing so much work as Nightlark's just waiting on that E cooldown. The Condemn will get him away. The True Trap Rod not hitting either. He still cannot fight it. It's a 1-for-1.
I am losing my mind at these fights. Oh my lord. So many little things happen this fight. From Rel Q just completely breaking the Shen shield, which is going to be insane, to Digbear and Ant Luniverse getting out of there by the grace of God. Insane. It did come at a price, though. The mid lane tier 1 did go down, and as Ziggs, you don't like seeing your turret.
Oh, Nightlark in lethal range. The execute not there. Taunt comes from Nightlark. Looking for the kill. Flash is needed from Neats, with Nightlark still dead to the burn. Neats, though, trying to tank it up. Midlock, meanwhile, in some trouble. She's not going to be able to disengage. 1 kill onto N0. Anonymous will respond. Flash away from Infamous Phoenix to get away. It's again a 1-for-1 trade cross map. But there's going to be a lot of damage here on this top lane turn.
There is so much going on this game, and I absolutely love it. Showing that even as what we pegged as comp difference, Miku are not just going to go down and be like, no, yeah, we are still in this. And they've got a 1,000 gold lead off of that first turret from the Rift Herald. That's one of the good things about Rel. You can just press W and mount down, and you can help keep the wave frozen.
Yep.
For whomever.
I mean, one thing you do have to look at here, you said 1,000 gold lead over to Team Miku is a lead, but is it enough? Ezreal not going to be able to damage all the carries here. Vel'Koz can, but very hard to navigate in these fights. Neatsk, who is going to be unstoppable in the mid game for most of these champions on Team Miku's side. Very strong lead here. 4 ACS lead, up 4-1 in kills. Has a stride breaker completion, is very accelerated, has a ton of turret plates, 4 solo plates in fact on the Darius.
Solo plates, oh my.
Neatsk is terrifying to deal with.
Something I do want to say is that when we talked about the Shen Heckerman Champions flag, I was under the assumption that it would just be...
Oh, Shiozaki in trouble?
He
does not find it, doesn't find the stun either. Digbear also going to disengage.
As I was saying, I was running under the assumption that it would be, you know, casual tank hacker and, you know, chem tank, phase rush, but nah. Midlock is going the the damage bruiser Hecarim, and that just means that when we had pegged the Ezreal and Co as low damage, that won't matter when there's going to be the Hecarim with the Shen and the Galio on top of them. So despite Ezreal and Vel'Koz, they do have a couple kills under their belt, so they will be doing damage. It's, once again, I'd argue all about MonkE when it comes to some of these team fights, as he's found himself a blue buff.
Yep, you can donate that over.
You're gonna be very okay.
They're not,
I don't agree with.
They're not gonna go. There's no way we are gonna look at a Darius dive. We saw top lane last game had a very impactful dive, and now MonkE is into the Q. Misses though from Darius. It's a clean kill, and that is very well played by MonkE on the Hecarim to dodge away from all those skill shots on Darius. The E does grab, but still had his to get away. Dodges the Q, so there's no healing, and N0 with the ultimate able to confirm nicely. And now Darius is down for the Dragon spawn, so Team Miku gonna have an opportunity to run down there, try to get something done, and Stay United still available from Nightlark, and Teleport is still available from N0 Anonymous. Could look to grab this Dragon off spawn.
Before we go into the track side, can you do it? How many tanks are there on the side of Team Miku?
How many
would
tanks?
you say? Yeah.
Technically 1.5, because Galio is, I think, building Locket, so maybe 2.
Okay, so one of the reasons I am a big fan of Ziggs against these quote high range team comps
be chunked down here by N0.
with the likes of Vel'Koz and Ezreal is that if you go Leandry.
Oh, looking for a pick on a Ziggs. MonkE is in. Here comes the hero's entrance as Nightlark able to get on off Stay United as well, but now in the backline, J-Morg in trouble. Here comes Zig Baron, finds it. No E available for the Darius. Still grabs J-Morgs in the end, however, and N0 has to
Darius
flash over
and
the wall
Well
to get
versus
away.
the world.
Yeah, the other team is just both teams just wanted the enemy backlines. And right now it is Team Miku who ends up coming on top in our split end fight. And with that, they're going to give the Drake over, so Miku going to continue to try to push their leads. They do end up going up to a 3k gold lead off this fight and off the subsequent tower dive. And top lane, the shutdown's coming through onto, I think, both Vayne and Darius. So that gold lead only going to be continued growing as Miku continues to try to push into this mid to late game. You now have a Mythic on Hecarim. You're going to be getting a Mythic on Shen here shortly with the Sunfire Cape, I believe. You do have one item on the Ezreal. It is going to be the Essence Reaver Rush. Yep, and there's the Crossfire Gauntlet. And it is going to be, interestingly enough, Locket the Iron Solari Galio. So going a bit more of a tank Galio build here.
I think the Locket here is fine.
I think the Locket here is fantastic. I think it's more than fine. I think it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, sure. So anyway, as I was saying, one of the reasons I like Ziggs against pseudo long range comps, I said in Champions League that I think Ziggs into Senna is insane for Ziggs, and against Ezreal and Vel'Koz, those pseudo long range, a lot of their damage comes from the poke. One of the best things about Ziggs is his ultimate, the Super Mega Inferno Bomb.
Ooh, N0 in trouble. Strybreaker from Neats goes as well as Pop. N0 nowhere to go but home. Shut down for Neats. He plays the Bush Cheese right.
That is a lot of money.
Yeah, Neats.
So, anyway, one of the cool things about Mythic items this season.
Oh, Shinozaki is dead too.
Okay, yeah.
Strybreaker hits it. E to buffer. Shinozaki going very low. Good flash of the ultimate. Needs go flashing forward. Still has it. Needs goes out of killing spree. Nightlark trying to kite away, and Miku caught out by the demon that is Needs, because now in the bot lane, Dig Baron looking for a fight on a MonkE, trying to run away. Still has his bot lane to counter as Nightlark on the run as well, way behind enemy lines. The 5 men converge, but can he get the great escape? Infamous Phoenix is here. Bomb hits. Nightlark popped up. Needs to dodge away. Trying not to give it, but it's a kill. Trying to be donated over. They won it on the Vayne, and they finally will get it. Spirit's Refuge bought the time he needed, but there is no help coming, and that is a ton of picks there for the side of GME. 3 quick kills. Gonna secure the gold lead back down to just over 1k. That's Vel'Koz not respecting Darius. Strybreaker top lane. Shinozaki Rika in the blue side jungle getting deep vision for who knows what. And then Nightlark as well, unable to really do much off it.
Fine. I'll be able to talk about Ziggs eventually, but one of the reasons I like the champion is because of his ultimate. It will be on such a low cooldown in the later parts of the game, which gives you so much flexibility. You can easily pick side lanes. You can throw it on an ulting Vel'Koz and watch him just explode. And the cool thing about Mythic items this season is that they give you some extra passives when you buy legendary item, and
Oh, J-Mor's looking for the 1v1, but Luniverse has a flash. Good flash from J-Mor to dodge away from the Condemned. And now Shinozaki is here. Condemned finally comes through. Luniverse pops the shield bow, trying to kite away, but Shinozaki very tanky. Luniverse, one more auto. J-Mor's finally able to find it.
close. Very close. Good flash.
Yeah, very close by... I mean, that's the power of Vayne to Ezreal. You have so much ability just to dodge away from skill shots, to kite it out. You have the shield bow as well to dodge a lot of the damage coming out from J-Mor's. You can just try to 1v1 the Ezreal even from behind. Now Digbear may be caught out. Good ultimate.
Oh no!
Done. Is the Anonymous mispredicts the E, grabs the ultimate. Digbear flashes, and he's out of there. 2 ultimates from Team Miku down, and nothing to be gained but a flash and an ultimate from Digbear.
There is a need.
Yeah, needs Stride Breaker coming. Mitmock needs to get away. Smite does come through, and he does get the crab regardless.
So anyway, Leandry's is good on Ziggs because it gives you more CDR. You had said 1.5 tanks. That is true. There's the Shen, there's the Galio, and then even Hecarim will eventually get a lot of more tanky. And that Leandry's damage will be adding up a lot. And that plus the mythic passive of the ability haste just makes it so it will basically always be up no matter what. Because Leandry's with the ability haste synergizes super well with Cosmic Drive, which is just an insane item on any champion. I'm not a... All of this to say, I'm not a fan
the
of
red
Duke.
buff. Digbear looking to contest this one. Has Smite available, so
There
can't
is
look to
a
grab
round
it, but it's smited away. Digbear able to secure. So J-Mor's just more or less harassing here. Nightlark dead again. Top lane. There's a turret behind him, but he might not even get the chance. Good shadow dash away. Needs to gonna pop the ult. He's just gonna look for the dive. Has the ulti. Burn stacks are there. Needs to try to take it up. Good use of the shield by Nightlark, but it's no matter. The Sterix Gauge is available, and needs to go grab the 1v1.
It was a good play by him, though. He definitely almost got there. It's just that.
Just no one respects the Darius top brush cheese, dude. It's the third time. Third time.
We all think it's a Garen in the bush, but nah, it's a Darius in the bush this time.
It's the third time it's happened.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
As Mitmox looking for a pick here on a red, gets knocked away. Slowed down. Digbear eventually grabs it. Stun comes down as nothing else will happen. Shinozaki Rika kiting away, and another good kite away by GME. Does burn another flash, but
Red unfortunately didn't get the satchel charge as the Hecarim completes the E auto attack as well as just dead here.
yeah, there's no escape. He does miss from Vel'Koz, though. That might mean, yeah, if this is good, Vel'Koz missing the CC
Rel
chain.
should have died there, but
Red team has
Good smite from Mitmock, able to slay that Ocean Dragon. So gonna be Team Miku at 2. Riptide is 7 minutes trying to get this mid lane tier 1, but Miku is there to respond, so that one should live for a little while longer. As Mitmock, oh, a little bit of communication. There's Satchel Charge and already staying united there. Nightlark doing that one a bit too early.
there's a lot going
Now,
on.
a bit of an interesting miscall there from Team Miku.
Yeah. As
Teleport coming in from Red.
teleporting in for something.
And Nightlark's trapped in pit. I'm not sure how he got here or why he's here, but he is trapped in pit with a Baron.
So much damage.
Able to
from
grab
Baron.
the E over, but Infamous steals the kill, and now Shinozaki Rika, who's trying to help out his friend, might be in trouble himself. Has to flash with the ult. Needs coming as well. Does not want to give up a kill.
Okay, he
So
just doesn't
Mitmock?
care. Yeah, he's just running him down.
Yeah, and it's on that, like, why are you there? You have the Shadow Dash, you can get over the back of the wall toward Tri-Bunch. There's so many options for you, you're just not taking them, and now the dive on J-Mor's not going to be successful just yet. Needs them coming on the chase. No Arcane available. J-Mor's 20 seconds out. Stun, land, E,
Oh my
land,
God,
and
the
Enter on the
Vel'Koz
wrong side of the rift
land.
as well. Luniverse is going to look to clean it up, and GME have total control over their Team Miku, just running into their hands. And there
Red
is
was
nothing
trying so
that
hard.
they can do.
Red was trying so hard to tell his team, please just damage this turret like once so I can execute it. But then they're just like, no, let's kill the enemy team instead. Very, very interesting.
They're going to get 2
Gameplay.
turrets mid here for this one. Ah, no, they're going to
No.
back up. They're going to back up
Well
on the second
made.
lip. Could look to go Baron.
Big W. I'm just gonna be sitting here thinking about this. I don't want to harp on the Ludens Ziggs too much because Ludens is by all means a fine item. I just think Leandry's works so much better against.
Yeah, that's Miku playing that.
Team Miku's comp.
I'm not sure how that sequence played that poorly. I mean, you try to look for something mid, it doesn't work. You have to get out. There's a 93 dares in the team, has a Sterix cooldown, has a Strike Breaker. Just go out through your top side jungle, through your bot side jungle, where you really need to. And then when you have Nightlark trapped in Baron Pit, you have Shinozaki Rika getting caught by Darius. MonkE is forced off his own Krugs. Then somehow that topside play turns into a mid bot side play because N0 and JMorgs get caught out. It's just an absolute like full team misplay by Team Miku across the entire span of the map.
Okay, so for reference, Zigzolt is at about a minute cooldown. So he'll be able to use it every minute or so and be able to just get free side lane pressure no matter where he throws it. And it's gonna be pretty big as we have a lot of anti-healing from the side of Team Miku, presumably literally only for Neat on that Darius there, which is understandable. And also for Vayne with the shield bow. So you love to see it itemized that early to hopefully slow down this snowball. As miraculously, gold is effectively even. It's 600 in difference between the teams.
See, gold is even.
I find that insane.
But we've said it last game, it's 20 minutes. We're looking at a soul here in 10. Nightlark caught again! Neat! Unrelenting in the top lane. Nightlark again overextending, again overcommitting, but they're going to try to counter anyway. TP coming in from N0, but that is a Vel'Koz, sir. That is not a front line. That is not a tank. And Neat, he don't care. He's going forward. Another Q finds the healing here. Then just finally coming in for Zigzag. And there's the ulti from Big Baron. Finally, the shutdown comes through, but N0 anonymous. It's low. Health bars all around. The cleanup crew has arrived. Ludiverse pulling the janitorial service, but he just can't scrub up Shidozaki Eureka. And now Team Miku do manage to disengage the fight.
Only a 1-for-1.
But that Team Miku's the one with low health bars. It is not the side of GME. Neats is a 1v5 kind of champion.
He just doesn't care. This is insane. There are so many low health bars on the side of Team Miku after that fact. The gold is literally even. These teams are just going back and forth, just knocking each other out, and the bell just isn't ringing yet. There's no way to tell who's going to end up winning this game. It's insane.
Yep. We have 42 kills in just 26 minutes of play. That is almost 32. 2 kills a minute. Oh yeah, 32. So
we're not that
much
crazy
over
yet.
1 kill a minute. I can't do math. I failed calculus. It's fine. I got good speak. I got that.
I don't
good
agree
mouth.
with this Zig Zonus. I think if you get Cosmic Drive here, it puts your ulti on such a much lower cooldown. And Zig's ulti is so important when you hit these stages of the game.
This team fight might actually decide the game here. Neats is already in. Zigbomb's not going to land this yet, but Neats, the zoning power of the Stride Breaker Darius makes it impossible for Miku to check in, but they're going to look for it anyway. There comes the ultimate on to MonkE. So they're going to try to find on Moe. Neats is the one countering back. Infamous Phoenix now on the backline with Dig Baron, and they can't get anywhere. Neats, they see like to get finally the Vel'Koz ulti comes out, but J-Borg's cutting away. Neats not able to find the Q. Vel'Koz still looking for the Derek comes through, and Neats falls short as the Ludiverse clears the kills on the backside. Now it is 2v2 mid and bot versus mid and bot. And it's a dragon secured by Team Miku as J-Borg looking for the 1v1. Reddit very low, has to flash away. Ludiverse not looking to contest any further. That is about as close of a fight as you can physically get. But it's Miku who come up with the dragon. That does mean the dividing point is theirs.
Dude, I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. There's just so much going on in all of these fights. Vel'Koz is just point blank. Life Orb Disintegration, right? Hitting him with the Death Laser point blank in melee range of Aurel and Darius. But he can do that because he has the Zanya. That is a no fear Void monster right there, and I am all for that.
And he's able to do that. I mean, the last fight we saw, it is the misplay from GME which allows that to occur, where Darius needs, as well as I believe Infamous Phoenix. It was either Infamous Phoenix or Dig Baron. I think it was Infamous Phoenix. They chase J-Morg down. They're hard focused in it. They want this 80 carry down, but they leave up the Vel'Koz who just slayed Dig Baron. So you don't have to get the re-engage on Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz is able to get a full 3-stack ulti on both members, takes down Infamous Phoenix, is able to kite out, needs take him down. J-Morgs has Arcane Shift available, and because you don't target the Vel'Koz, who's the immobile target, you end up getting damage split from both J-Morgs and N0, and you just can't deal with both. Just a
And
little bit too much.
the gold is still within 100. Normally in these types of games where there's a lot of scrappy fights, you'd expect one team to just somehow just randomly have like a couple, like 1,000 or so gold up just from farming alone, but no. Everything is basically dead even. There is farm differences for top side in favor of Neat and in mid lane in favor of N0, but aside from that, it's as even as even gets. Both ADCs on 3 items. It's a battle of whoever wins these minor outplays in the fight. And I couldn't tell you who's going to do them because they're so minor and they happen so often that it's impossible to just tell. One fight could be GME with Needs just popping off and winning it, and then the next you have N0 just being able to stay alive for so long.
Yeah, well, it's his Needs the Volley Nightlark once again overstaying his welcome. Needs pops the summoner, goes to Nightlark, tries to absorb as much as he can with the Spirit's Refuge, but it might not be Refuge for very long because Redneck Cell's here to do the damage as well. Needs grabs the kill. Now MonkE might be getting picked off in Luniverse, finds a stun. Here's Edge's gonna buy some more time. Good fear, keeps both inside, but Dig Baron here to support. MonkE going very low, good ultimate from Enzo doing as much as he can, but Dig Baron grabs the kill, and now Infamous on the backline. Enzo doing what he can, and it's not enough. Dig Baron still lives. They're grabbing with Felix, and J-Morg's able to grab on the backside onto Luniverse. The off-screen play comes up big, and J-Morgs with the arcade shift finds the kill. It ends up being a 3-for-2 cross map. But Red and Neats still alive. Neats, the hopes, the dreams of GME is stay in this game. 12-5
No.
this area. Not unstoppable. They're going to start the Baron. There is no MonkE. There is no front line. And Neats is lying in wait. Up, and there's the R. There's the double pull. The Spirit here. Tetris is in. Neats one more object will do it, and the shield from Nightlark able to make it happen. And now
I don't agree with Red or Neat.
Oh, shit! Like burning. He's so low on the Galio. He just survived.
I don't agree with Neat going in there. You have the Ziggs. You just throw the Ziggs and get them off the Baron. Because if you die there, you just get the Baron for free. If you're Miku.
Yeah, J-Mor's able to find the arcane shift for the kill onto Red, and that means Baron over to Team Miku just a minute before the dragon spawns, and finally the gold lead back up into the thousands.
We finally got a gold lead now, and it's in that fight even before the Baron. The reason the Vel'Koz could stay alive is because you have the Vayne is getting zoned out so hard, taking the full life form disintegration wave, popping the shield bow, and at the end you have full tank Volley Bear and Rel trying to kill this Vel'Koz. There's no way that Vel'Koz dies there. And then Vayne dies because Ezreal comes up. And all that Red needs to do there is throw his ulti and try to hit as many people as possible. And then they get off Baron. But now it's sole point fight, and Team Miku are clad in purple.
Yep.
And it's gonna be rough.
Oh, Neats looking for it. I mean, Neats is pretty much the entire team now. Luniverse is very sharp, but the Vayne has not been able to get much done in a lot of these fights.
There is the potential for some. Okay, that Ezreal will just happen.
Oh, Neats looking for it. Great target disruption from N0, and now Neats is actually get chunked out before the fight even begins. Nightlark, meanwhile, on the backside, looks for the engage, finds the flash taunt onto Luniverse, and MonkE able to follow up, but is it enough? Not yet. Nightlark stunned up, taking down Luniverse, grabbing the kill, but
So
it's
well there.
Rika. Support doing what he can. Luniverse going forward. J-Morgs goes dominating as MonkE gonna be chunked down and taken out. No, the magic shield! It's enough to survive, and the healing is too much. Red double stopwatch is able to flash away, but will it save him? More than likely not. Needs is back to rejoin the fight. J-Morgs trying to carry away. Needs can't find the E. Ezreal now looking for the re-engage. J-Morgs, the damage, the Q, the healing. Needs not able to get it done. And that is the full ace for Team Miku. It was a close game. It was a messy game.
Is that game? Luniverse is up in 15. They still have the Baron
Yeah,
up.
they're gonna try to end it right here. I think they got one inhibitor down. They have Baron down.
No, I don't
Four
think they
members
can. I don't
strong.
think they can. Vayne is going to be up too soon, so
They're
is his
looking
Baron.
for Nexus turrets are going to be taken down. Infamous Phoenix finds one, and the game freezes.
So
And
that
we all know what that means. 2-0 for Team Miku.
Oh my lord. What a game.
Whew. Yeah, that one was a back and forth for sure.
We didn't know who was going to win until the Baron died. 33 and a half minutes of back and forth gameplay. Team Miku coming out on top in the end. Holy moly.
More goes to prove that team diff greater than top diff. some might say.
Yeah.
But
insane game.
Yeah, all in all, very, very well done fight by GME to try to get something done. Either way, it is going to be the 2-0 taking of Team Miku, who will be moving on to next week play the winner in the semifinals of Sanapakura Watanabe in 2014. So the #1 team possibly in the PSU LCS at the end of the regular split, which they went 0-2 on their first game on the Rift. But with that one, that is pretty much the end of our cast here tonight. We'll bring you guys more quarterfinal action as we know how to do. Oh, 5-inch Girth Gods did 2-0 Coach Gap. So Coach Gap will be taking the bow out here for the playoffs as well. And I do have a playoff graphic drawn up here rudimentarily. So it's going to be 5-inch moving on to the semifinals, as well as and they're going to play the winner of the Universe and Boomers and a Zoomer.
I like
Team Miku plays winner of Sanapakura Watanabe 24. Yeah, you like all the logos that team sent me? They're pretty cringe.
I like it.
Especially Team Miku. And Sanapakura, they are the highest levels.
I understand one of those references.
In either event, thank you, Devin, for giving us the update. Was streaming the other game. Make sure you go watch the VOD over on his channel. I'm sure it was a banger just the same. But with that, that is...
Playoff bangers.
Yeah. That was pretty much it here for our quarterfinals coverage for today. Once again, I've been Dom, joined here by Sakura Wars Fanboy. And congratulations to both teams for making it into the playoffs. Team Miku, the ones moving on. And we will see you guys next week for the semifinals and for the rest of the quarterfinals here on Penn State League. You guys have a good day, good Sunday. Finish up all that last minute homework, and we'll catch you guys next time on The Rift.